Joining us now to react, here is Kellyanne Conway. Kellyanne, what do you make of all this? It is just, and that's the best word for it, it's a shambles.
It is. And beyond the sheer hypocrisy of everyone in the Biden camp and the mainstream media who denounced the finding of the documents in Mar-a-Lago and were clutching their pearls for 5 months, acting like that was the end of the world. Beyond all of that, let's just focus on what we know. We know that there's been reckless and negligent mishandling of classified documents. That alone makes them culpable. Every time they tried to excuse it away, Steve, by saying, but it wasn't that many documents, but the search is over, but this is Biden, he's so grandfatherly and so gracious. He's not Trump, Trump, Trump. They make it worse because they're actually admitting culpability. And your point about this was supposed to be the adult administration all buttoned up and tightened up. They know better. This guy, the biggest swamp creature of all, swimming around, splashing around in the swamp for 50+ years, is supposed to know how to properly handle classified documents. But the main point that you made is such the essential one going into 2023 and 2024. This White House wants us to believe what they say rather than what we see. First, they do it on rising crime and rising prices. They do it with Putin in Ukraine. They do it with people coming over the border. Don't believe what you see, believe what we say. And now we are believing what we see. We know that there's been no end to the discovery of new documents and new boxes. And this is important for a very simple reason. The press secretary is really having the worst time of all. Either they're cutting her out and marginalizing her, like this White House does with the women who work in press and comms, or she's deliberately lying to the public. I think there's absolutely nothing of utility that we get from her anymore. All she has to say is, I simply don't know. I'm going to have White House counsel's office, the FBI, speak with you. One last thing. The president himself has not apologized. He has said, quote, there's no there. You'll find out this will be over soon, just the way when he pulled out of Afghanistan with chaos against the rationale and the plan of his generals, turning over Kabul and Afghanistan to the Taliban and leaving $85 billion of our equipment and intelligence in the wingspan of China. What did he say after that? Quote, I make no apology. And here he said there's no there. This is a grown man, Commander-in-Chief, President of the United States, who can't admit when they've breached transparency and accountability and just say, look, we're taking it out of the White House. We're going to let the FBI look for this. We're going to let them handle it the way President Trump did. The FBI went down, said, put a lock, put some cameras, get the Secret Service. That was all done. It is Biden's private lawyers who are running the search that allows him to claim executive privilege, attorney-client privilege. And that also means that people who work for him, not disinterested third parties who should be looking for classified documents, are the foxes guarding the henhouse. None of this is good for them. More Democrats, including Democratic senators and members of the mainstream media, are peeling away from Biden right now, Steve. Even as recently as today, this Sunday, they've been all over the network saying this was handled very poorly and it needs to be investigated.